Zuriaga, who turns well for a man of his bulk. And he's won a free kick to Colombia. But you can look again at how close Paraguay came to a penalty here. That's clearly what was in the mind of the local commentator, who would have summoned that replay. I must say I didn't see it as that straight away. But the defender was Pereira, who's having a hard time at the moment. And so too is Zuriaga from the referee and Nunes from the Colombian challengers. Maybe that's just one for my mate who's been sent off. Maybe that was the message from Zuriaga and Nunes, who hasn't invited the Paraguayan trainers to come on too far. He's injured by the touchline again. The player who's gone off, incidentally, is X. And this is the second substitute. It's the second Ferreira. Buenaventura Ferreira. Well, there was a real grunt from Mendoza then, but the referee didn't take exception to the challenge. Still 1-0. But Colombia in danger as Redin becomes the latest player to get the yellow card, in danger of finishing this match with very depleted resources. They're down to 10 men already. But Paraguay, with both substitutes on, run the risk of losing someone from their ranks through injury. While it's 1-0, of course, there's still hope for Colombia, and they've still got to battle ahead. And battle is the operative word. Perez banging into the back of Mendoza. So the goal scorer will take the free kick. And the crowd find their voices again. Need some movement in the centre, and in fact the movement, as in the first half, came from the Colombian back line. It's a risky manoeuvre. It really takes some orchestrating. But the choreography was perfect that time. They came in a line, legs in unison. Nunes is built to withstand the sort of tackles that he's received in the last 5 minutes. The strength in the thighs, considerable. He declines to take the free kick this time. Valderrama. Carlos Valderrama not happy with his French club Montpellier. This is Cáceres. Paraguay here in a position where they should be able to kill the game off with a second goal. It's always said that it's more difficult to play against 10 men, but they're playing now with a verve and a sophistication in their build-up that augurs well for this World Cup campaign. And although they're playing against 10 men, one shouldn't take too much away from the show they're starting to put on here, because they confirmed their domination before Colombia lost Alvarez. Nunes. Javier Ferreira, and that's offside against Nefa. And the official's absolutely right. And that's the advantage of these relatively recent innovation in camera placing and coverage on television. The best advantage from the 18-yard line camera is to adjudicate on offside decisions. Header away from Torrales, guided on by Núñez. Mendoza. The two Ferreiras determined to make an impact. Well, Javier has already done that. And the crowd enjoyed the back pass. They will enjoy them when the team's winning. There's a neat flick of the head by Torrales. Escobar beaten in the air, and that could have been the moment to secure the points. It was a very direct attack, and it was Nefa from Ferreira's flick who put it wide. Fireworks in the crowd, and we've had one or two on the field as well. Well, they're so close, aren't they, Paraguay, to wrapping up the match. And they're bearing down on Higuita's goal in waves now. Higuaín! Well, would you believe it? It's 1-1. A goal greeted in almost stony silence here in Asunción with just 3 minutes remaining. This goal scorer, who has not declined with age, Arnaldo Higuaín, 32 years old, and that's his third goal now in 2 games for Colombia in the World Cup qualifiers. And this against all the odds, down to 10 men, and hardly getting the ball into Paraguay's half over the last 20 minutes or so. But Higuaín fashioned a goal really out of nothing. It was a terrific turn. Hernandez played it in, but there was an awful lot to do, and Higuaín did it with some style. And Paraguayan heads are being hung now out on the pitch. They cannot believe what has happened. The crowd is starting to move away in their disappointment. Some would say disgust at seeing their team throw away what looked like an absolutely certain victory. And now Colombia can use up the time. The feeling before the game was that these two teams were very close in ability and strength, and that it would be a tight run affair, but Paraguay were given the position, having scored first, and had the referee then sending Alvarez off. It seemed set up for an encouraging start to their World Cup campaign, and now the atmosphere is unbelievably different. Valderrama will just make sure that the free kick is played sensibly, and surely Colombia aren't going to try and win it now. Hernandez, full of energy and enthusiasm, one of the substitutes. The ball shepherded back to, and Higuita making Colombian hearts skip a beat. Nefa, the player challenging him, and that's not a very good kick. Well, this air of disbelief still pervading the stadium. But what a good goal it was, unless you have to be a Paraguayan. Colombia would confirm their position at the top of the group if it stays this way. We'll have 3 points from 2 games. Paraguay 1 from this one. Ecuador no points from their 1 defeat against Colombia. Cleared by Escobar. And it's going to be very hard in the time that remains, and by my watch we're moving towards the 90-minute mark. Higuita will be well aware of that, and the Paraguayans want to take the goal kick for him. That'll only slow things down even further. And there hasn't been too much time to add on. Colombia now on the verge of pilfering a point in Asunción through this man, Higuaín, but Núñez stands his corner again. Mendoza. Kusuriaga giving away the free kick. Is the time now for Paraguay. They've got to send everyone forward. 3 Colombians going for the same ball. That was unnecessary. Little air of panic then. It's a testing cross that the goalkeeper survived. Valderrama. Colombia, who have really, over the last 10 years or so, rebuilt their football, restructured it to come up with a team that can compete at the highest level. They showed that particularly in the '87 Copa America. They've been around the world and given a good account of themselves at international level, and here they are, showing considerable resilience. An object thrown at the goalkeeper then, and the Paraguayan supporters aren't known for their patience when things go against their favourites. Hernandez. Delgado trying to drive on his side. That was good defending by Hoyos. 1-1. We're into stoppage time. Away, that will suit Colombia by Perea. And look at Chilavet. And he could get himself in trouble if he doesn't scamper back onto his line. He's done that. Delgado staying forward. But Colombia standing firm. Trying to just keep the ball in the Paraguayan half through Kusuriaga. Well, here's Ferreira. Well, the goalkeeper's gone for a ball that he was never going to get, and that's a penalty. On my watch, 3 minutes of stoppage time has elapsed, and we've got a sensation here. Colombia, who seem to have rescued themselves from a perilous position when they were a goal down and a player sent off, have been let down by their goalkeeper here, who tumbled into Delgado, I think it was. Did he have to go for it? Well, it's easy to judge it in hindsight. The penalty has been given, and I think he was right to give it. The Colombians are now in danger of being arrested en masse. They're being taken away from the Chilean referee, and they are furious. The penalty still has to be converted, and it's one of those situations where it might be the last kick of the game. On my watch, it really should be the last kick of the game. But there's mayhem on the field, and the police are doing a good job. The Colombians are being protected for their own good, protected from themselves. But are they going to stay on the field? Is this going to be a protest? Are they going to go off and forfeit the game? Well, that would be even worse than losing it. The ramifications would be considerable. And here we are again in a World Cup game in South America, where scenes have to be seen to be believed. Some of the more sensible Colombians have come away and are trying to they realise the game has got to be restarted. But look at this. Well, sometimes you see the police dealing with fans on the field. Here they're dealing with misbehaving, dissenting footballers. But who is going to take the penalty? Now, Higuita is a goalkeeper who takes them himself and has quite an understanding, one would assume then, of the mentality of the men he faces when he goes about his normal job of work. But he's conceded the penalty. Can he now save it when the Paraguayans are in a position to take it? And that might be a while yet. And now Higuita has freed himself from the military men and has found the route to accost Hernan Silva, the referee. And he might be sent off before he can get into the firing line. If he continues this debate, he's going to be in serious trouble. But Colombia panicked a little before the ball got to Delgado here. They should have cleared it. Well, are we anywhere nearer a restart? Something else thrown on, looked like a plastic container. And it's not the Paraguayan fans who should be risking the wrath of FIFA here. Their team are so close now. One kick it would take away from surely winning the game. There'd be no comeback for Colombia from this situation if Paraguay score. It could be quite a big if, because it's going to be a penalty in which there will be immense pressure on the taker. Valderrama. I think some of the crowd still unsure as to whether the penalty had been given. The clue was the reaction, and it looks like Chilavert. One goalkeeper against another. Well, this is incredible. The goalkeeper who plays for Zaragoza in Spain is entrusted with a crucial kick. Success to certain points for Paraguay to start their World Cup campaign. Failure, and, well, he'll want to get back to Zaragoza as quickly as possible. And the Colombians are being allowed to use all the gamesmanship going. The referee surely has got to just get them away, and the way to do it is to brandish some cards. It's been, what, a good 5 minutes since he awarded the penalty. And still, Paraguay can't take it. And Higuita has decided that he can come back and prey on his opposite number's nerves. Look at this. Which one of them wants to take it? So, at last the ball can be spotted up. And Chilavert against Higuita. He scores! Paraguay have won with a goal from the goalkeeper. One of the most astonishing victories in World Cup history. That's no exaggeration. Colombia pay the price. Well, Chilavert just wrapped his left foot round the ball and drilled it, with the goalkeeper diving out of the way almost. Well, it was a penalty that really tested him, and he came through with flying colours. And the game could well have finished at that point, but it hasn't. So we're some 11 minutes now past the scheduled time of finishing the game. Obviously, I would say 7 minutes of that taken up by the Colombian protests. But you have to wonder what the referee saw in the second half to add on such time. I think that's the one complaint Colombia might justifiably have, not the award of the penalty itself, should the game have been already over by then. Well, each of these fixtures throwing out a tale that you can recount for a long time to come. And still the referee plays on. There's that extraordinary statistic of the goalkeeper scorer is recorded on the screen there. Suriaga, helped on by Valderrama. Colombia has still given time to recover, but there can only be seconds left. And there's the second biggest roar of the match, the first, the loudest, when Chilavert rammed in the penalty to win the points for Paraguay. And he's the object of attention now. An amazing second half in which Javier Pereira came on as a substitute and then scored to give Paraguay the lead. Alvarez sent off, Iguaran against all the odds equalising, and then the penalty that won it all deep into injury time. Paraguay 2, Colombia 1. This was a scene that stands repeating. And Chilavert is the hero of Paraguay. And Higuita has to go back to Colombia, having been beaten ignominiously by a penalty from another goalkeeper, a penalty that he himself conceded with a rash challenge on Delgado. Colombia stay top of the group on goals scored. The goal difference is the same, and Ecuador will still have a say. Goodbye from Asunción.
Tonight from the city of Lima, Uruguay, beaten finalists in the South American Championships, begin their challenge for a place in the World Cup finals. Their opponents, Peru. Only one of these three will go on to Italy. Bolivia are currently leading the way.